Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 218. In this episode, I'm going to help you develop a vision for your future. It's time that we start dreaming, that we start thinking big and imagine all of the possibilities and get excited for our stinking future. So anybody can do this exercise. Actually, I recommend that everybody can do it. Also, as we talked about last episode, if you're interested in a career as a coach, it's definitely helpful to have your clients do this visualization exercise because it helps you realize what's possible. It helps you feel the hope for what's possible and for the future. So hope and possibility are a huge part of coaching. So check it out. I know that you're absolutely going to love this. And if you're digging these episodes, I'd be so grateful if you headed on over to iTunes and left a 5-star rating and review. Every single time somebody goes over there and leaves a review, it absolutely helps other badasses just like you to find the podcast, and I am super grateful. And if you're feeling super inspired, I would love for you to take a screenshot, throw it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at Ordinary to Badass. But really, that's just me wanting to be able to say thank you for leaving a review on the podcast. Every little review helps, so thank you so much. And with that, let's go ahead and get to the episode. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk all about mindset or vision for your future. Vision for your future. That's more accurate. I think too often we're getting stuck in the daily grind, in the nitty gritty, and not looking at the big picture. We're putting things off for next time or for later. Oh, 5 years from now, I'll do that. Or, oh, next month, timing might be better. So I might do that thing that I've always wanted to do. And then what ends up happening is that you never get there because life has a way of planning things. Life has a way of taking you on a journey. And so if you're not intentional about the things that you want, then life will, I'm trying to think of that quote. Like if you don't have a plan, life will come up with one for you. And I totally jacked up the quote, but there is a quote, something like that. So you do need to be intentional about where you're going, about what you want out of this life, because most often life doesn't just come and plop something in your lap and say, okay, here you go. This is exactly what you're waiting for. Now you can take action. Because I think we think of all these things, and I used to do this all the time, but like, we're like, oh, when my marriage is good, then I'll do this. When the kids, get out of elementary school, or when they get out of high school, or once my job gets easier, then I'll start doing this thing that I've always wanted to do. We put all of these stipulations on our dream, on our vision, on what we want to happen. And then somewhere along the way, we lose it. We lose the ability to dream because we stop thinking that it's possible. And then you go through your day numb. Right? We find different ways to numb ourselves so that we don't feel bad about not going after the things that we love. And so then we might numb ourselves just going to work all day. And then we come home and we plop in front of the TV and then watch TV. Maybe it's through alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or food. It can be through food. And hey, I am right there. I am typically like an emotional eater. So that can absolutely be me. I can fall into that category. And you know what? Sure, indulge sometimes. Do these other things. Like It's not saying that any one of those behaviors is absolutely wrong, right? But if you start doing them over and over and over, and you obsess over it, like, oh, I got to have this drink today. Today was such a rough day, or just like binging on food every time it's a rough day, or it becomes a habit for every single day because you're not happy at your job or what you're doing, or maybe you're not happy in your relationship or your marriage, or you're just not happy because you're not doing the things that you want to do, right? So that can have a big effect and make a big, like, take a big toll on you. So I want to read this quote that I saw on Instagram. It was Cliff Ravenscraft that posted it. And it was, if you don't have a clear image of your ideal day, or week would be, let's start this over. If you don't have a clear image of what your ideal day or week would be, what do you suppose the chances are that you'll ever experience it? Just like Zig Ziglar said, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. So having these goals, having these visions, these ideas of the things that we want, it's important to keep them top of mind. Maybe that means having pictures, having visuals around your house, put it on your mirror, right? Like if your vision is to retire in New Zealand, I say that because that would be pretty darn cool. Then maybe you have pictures of New Zealand around just to kind of remind you, to get you excited, like, oh yeah, that's going to be my future. That's going to happen one day. So setting out these little reminders, right? You can put one in your car, like on your dashboard. So every time you get in the car to drive, and you're like, New Zealand, I like it. And you kind of realize, oh yeah, that's what I want. And you start to cement in your mind, like, that's going to happen. And some of those things, when you're dreaming about them, it builds up your excitement, right? And so that's one thing you can do, is you can set reminders of this dream, of this vision, of this thing that you want. Set reminders. Talk about it. Talk about it with your friends, with your family, right? If you have a significant other, talk about it with them and bounce ideas off each other. Sometimes you might think, oh yeah, going to New Zealand, but you might not think about the second part, which is, I can go skydiving. We can do something exciting. We can do adventure or whatever, but your significant other throws an idea out there and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I want, right? But then it also builds excitement between the two of you. So yeah, talk about it. Have pictures to remind you. Talk about it with people that you're close with, people that are supportive, not negative Nellies, because that's not going to help you any, right? So find those people in your life that are going to support your dreams, support the things you want to do, and that will encourage you. And this just popped into my head as I was saying that. I remember probably 4 or 5 years ago, I had talked about, I'm going to be an author. I knew nothing about being an author. I hadn't done any writing at all, right? This is before I started the podcast and before I started the blog, and I knew nothing. And my friend was so stinking supportive. She was just like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I can't wait. And she had written her own book. And so that was very cool, but she was like absolutely supportive, having no evidence whatsoever that I could do it. But she believed in me. And it was awesome having that support system that not everybody has, right? So you pick and choose these people that you tell this stuff to, and those are the ones that are supportive and encouraging. And then it's like, once they believe in you, then it kind of gives you an extra little boost. Like, yeah, we don't have to get our belief in ourselves from other people, but it is nice to have people that aren't going to cut you down, that aren't going to rip apart your idea or tell you why it's so horrible or why you could never do it, right? So find those supportive friends. Another thing that I love is visualization. Visualization, I think, is so key. And I think I've told you before, but this played a big part in my mastermind. I don't know why I said mastermind. This played a big part in running a marathon. I had never run any race whatsoever, not a 5K, not a half marathon, nothing. Every morning I would sit there, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just depend. What I came to like to do was 5 minutes of silence, just listening to the thoughts in my head, and then 5 minutes of visualizing my future, visualizing myself completing that marathon. And this really became the beginning of my visualization and starting this journey. But I would visualize myself running that race and feeling so encouraged and so inspired and like, oh my gosh, I'm not a runner, but I could run a marathon. This is so stinking cool. And then I would picture myself completing that finish line, how I would feel once my feet and my arms cross that finish line, and what I would be saying to myself, and like the relief and the excitement. And that beer, I thought, because they give you a free beer after a marathon, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have that free Michelob Ultra and I am going to embrace it because I just ran a freaking marathon. And I imagined my friends that would be around me. My sister, she ended up doing the marathon with me. And so I just imagined what it would be like and how excited I would feel and what it would smell like. Probably pretty stinky because it's after a marathon. And just the joy that I would feel. And I really, truly contribute that, or say that's the main reason why I completed the marathon. Not because I was any sort of runner, not because I have any sort of ability that's more than the ability that you have. Nope. It was absolutely the visualization. And I tend to be pretty stubborn, so that can help. But really the visualizing all coming to fruition and getting excited about it and like actually believing, oh, this is going to happen. Come hell or high water, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to complete that marathon and it's going to feel so stinking good. So that's a huge part of it, right? Is just visualizing what it is you want. And I say visualize for 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes. If you have time, do the 10-minute thing, 5 minutes of silence, just meditating, and then 5 minutes of visualizing what you want. And I can't even tell you what a game changer it is. It's so helpful and gets you like excited. It helps you to feel the feelings that you'd feel. And then you're like, oh yeah, full-blown conclusion. This is what's going to happen. And you convince yourself and get yourself excited that it's a thing, like it's going to happen. So that's what I want you to do today. Take a few minutes. I would say take 20 minutes, take 30 minutes, take an hour, whatever time you can allow yourself, do it. And I would even challenge you to throw it in your schedule, because so often we're saying, oh, I'll do this exercise tomorrow. And then we don't do it. And then it never happens, right? And it keeps getting put off, put off, put off. So obviously, I'd like you to do it right after this podcast. That would be ideal, but I know that we all have busy schedules. So I really want you to start dreaming of your future, dreaming of the could be's, like what could be your life? What could happen? How amazing could this be? And start asking yourself those questions. And sometimes it won't come right away. I know I've done this exercise so many times of my ideal day. What's the perfect day in the life of Marie Sonneman? I had such a tough time coming up with it until I didn't. So I kept running into like a brick wall. I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't coming up with any ideas. And I was feeling very frustrated by that. Like, what the heck? Why can I not visualize my future? Why can I not dream of something big? And I don't know what that wall was, right? So I was in a group and we were given this task to sit down and write what our ideal day was. And I'll tell you, it was hard. It was frustrating. I was like, I've done this a bajillion times before, probably an exaggeration, but I had done it enough times to where I felt like frustrated by it. And I was like, this isn't going to work. I've tried this before. It won't work. But except for that time, of course it did. So that's what I'm going to urge you to do. Sit down. You can write it down. I'll turn off my phone so it stops making noises here. You can write it down and then maybe sit down and visualize it. That's a good idea, right? So try to think all of the things that you would see, all of the things that you would hear. Think of your senses. Like, what would you smell? What would it look like? What would everything around you look like? What kind of clothing would you be wearing in your ideal world? and plan out your day. What would it look like when you first woke up in the morning? What would be the first thing you would do? And kind of plan out your day based on your ideals. And this is going to probably change over time, right? So right now, you might want to get up and do yoga in the morning. And then next year, that might not be your thing. You might be like, oh, I just want to go for a walk, or I just want to read something inspirational. And that would be my ideal day, is to get up and grab a cup of my favorite coffee, of course, with sugar-free Italian creamer or sweet cream. Yes, I'm inserting my own thing into this, but yeah, what would you drink? What would you do? Would you have meditation in your visualization? Would you read an inspirational book? Would you go for a hike, go for a walk, do some yoga? What's your dream job? What would that entail? What would that look like? Who would you be working with? Would you have your own business? What would that look like? So really dream out what the day-to-day would be and what would excite you about that. What would light you up? The more detailed that you get with these visualizations, the more it's going to help you, the more exciting it's going to be, right? Think of the foods you love, the things that you'd like to have in your life that you don't have in your life right now. Maybe there's a certain kind of vehicle that you'd want to drive. So you put that down. Me, I want an RV. So I always visualize having an RV and visualize my outdoor area with like a pool and a lounge area, a TV outside, right? Under a little covered area. And then even your own little cooking area outside with like a really nice barbecue, a really nice setup. Those are all things that have been in my visions. And also, of course, expanding ordinary to badass and what it would be like getting ready for a badass adventure retreat and how excited I would be and how excited my team would be and just all of this stuff. Just tried to think in as much detail as possible. And yes, more details will come, especially the more excited you get about it. And the more you start to plan this, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to happen. And I swear the visualization of these things and the excitement that you feel that it builds up, that helps you. That gives you confidence because you've seen it so many times. It feels like, oh, I've been through this. I know that I can handle this. It's weird. It's really weird. I wouldn't have believed it before I did it. But these visualization really helps you. It helps you to cement that dream to coming into fruition and to get you excited to take the next step. Instead of feeling so much fear and intimidation, then you feel excitement. So just a quick recap, things that you can do to start getting clear on your vision, start getting clear on your dream, and to really start implementing some of that in your life, right? And so it's to start having those big dreams, to start having those big audacious goals, and to have visualizations around your house, around your car, places that you are pretty regularly. Have visualizations to remind you of that thing that you want. And then, of course, community and your friends, your family. So community, of course, got to do a plug. Ordinary to Badass community on Facebook. Join that if you're looking for a community of other badass women who are definitely pursuing their goals, who are checking their mindset, right? Not just doing what everybody else does. We're not just taking life for granted. And we're really living our life and excited about the future and excited about the possibilities. And I'm excited about your future and the possibilities for you. So yeah, community, have friends and family, significant other, people that are supportive of you. And then talk about your dreams and your visions with those people that are around you all the time. Those people that are really going to like, I just got this vision of like a fire. When there's a fire and it's just a little ember and it's not fully going, right? And how easy it could be for that ember to go out if you're around negative people, then it's just going to like snuff your torch or get rid of your fire, right? Just because the negativity, it just takes it out of you. But then on the other side, if you're around positive people, it's like, They will help you light the fire. They will help you put like newspapers in the fire to get it going, or gather extra wood and kind of just like breathe life into the fire. I just imagine like, right? They're just breathing life into your dream, encouraging you to keep going. They can believe in you sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, or give you additional ideas that you didn't have. And then that sparks excitement, right? So have these people in your life who are going to embrace your dreams. They're going to take this little ember and help to like blow on it and bring it to full-blown fire, to help it be raging, because you are a badass. You got this. You have one life. And so I would love for you to do this one day exercise, or your perfect day exercise, and really figure out what it is that you want in life. And if you want help uncovering that, if you want help digging into this perfect life, to your dream life, to having the badass mindset that it takes, then definitely reach out to me, because this is for you. This is totally going to help you. So reach out to me, DM me on social media at Ordinary to Badass, and let me know. Let me know. Let's have a conversation, right? That's it. Let's have a free conversation. No end game in mind. It doesn't mean you have to sign up for any program or any coaching, but let's just have a conversation to like light that fire, to let you know that this is a full-blown conclusion, that this is going to happen for you. So I will come up with a webpage or website that you can go and click and definitely sign up. And I will throw that in the comments. With that, we'll end our show. To all the badass.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.
Women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.